The Shiba Inu development team is serious business. A small bit of the enormous upgrade they are working on was just shown. However, that is merely scratching the surface. The cryptocurrency market completely crashed just now. A group of major investors, including BlackRock, poured hundreds of millions of dollars into the venture. Furthermore, Shiba stands to gain the most from the cryptocurrency market as a whole. However, what is happening in reality? I don't even know what I'm talking about. Okay, I'll try to clarify. A new issue has arisen today, even as people are still rejoicing over BlackRock's recent triumph over Grayscale, who is referred to as the crypto evil by certain users. For the uninitiated, daily inflows of millions of dollars into Bitcoin ETFs offered by BlackRock and other corporations began shortly after the first Bitcoin ETF received approval. It was widely believed that this marked the beginning of a massive upswing, and not only in Bitcoin's value but in the entire cryptocurrency market. I understand now, and there's a clear explanation for all this enthusiasm. Hundreds of millions of dollars began flowing into these Bitcoin ETFs every day just days after they were approved. This massive sum demonstrated that major investors were finally pouring their money and faith into the cryptocurrency sector. It's very similar to a tiny farmer's market where sellers typically accept modest amounts of payment from locals in exchange for their produce, as all of a sudden they see trucks pulling up. But these are no ordinary trucks, they're carrying hundreds of thousands of dollars. The cash in these vehicles is practically begging to be squandered. The farmers are alerted to the impending great event by this unexpected infusion of funds. Similarly, many expected a dramatic shift when hundreds of millions of dollars poured into Bitcoin exchange-traded funds ETFs, suggesting that institutional investors were buying into the market and perhaps setting the stage for a sharp increase in cryptocurrency prices. However, an issue has arisen at this point. Even before the ETF was established, there was a participant named Grayscale who possessed massive amounts of Bitcoin. The question is, where did they acquire it from? Just in case you forgot, they were an early provider of Bitcoin trust services for anyone interested in investing in Bitcoin. They managed to amass a substantial sum as time went on. Grayscale possessed an enormous quantity of Bitcoin in contrast to BlackRock and others who were only beginning to accumulate their holdings. Then, just as everyone was getting excited and Bitcoin was seeing a rise in inflows, Grayscale startled everyone by selling hundreds of millions of Bitcoin daily. As a result, numerous collisions occurred. Although the arrival of capital from large financial companies like BlackRock was seen as a positive development at first, the price of Bitcoin did not increase immediately due to the enormous selling pressure exerted by Grayscale. They were also locked in a rut because so many other cryptocurrencies mimic Bitcoin's behavior. The bulls, though, were unbeatable. Finally, Bitcoin soared to fresh all-time highs above $70,000. Most cryptocurrencies, as said before, try to mimic Bitcoin's success. Only one, though, sticks out due to its peculiar habits. It's Shiba Inu, a cryptocurrency that reacts very slowly to changes in the value of Bitcoin. The joy is doubled when Shiba Inu goes even higher when Bitcoin heads up. However, Shiba Inu's value takes a bigger hit when Bitcoin's price falls. The price of Shiba Inu jumped threefold in the span of a few days as Bitcoin reached a new all-time high. Though it has been 3 months since the tragedy, some individuals are still commemorating it because of how monumental it was. The excitement, however, has subsided after 3 months. As the market recovers from large price increases, it is normal for prices to fall. Thus, the attention is now directed onto an other matter. The approval of the Ethereum ETF came as a complete surprise just 1 week ago. Since trading has not yet begun, the crypto market has not been significantly affected. But people are getting more and more excited and curious. This brings to mind the events surrounding the January approval of Bitcoin's ETF. Bitcoin eventually reached new all-time highs as a result of the daily influx of hundreds of millions of dollars. The Shiba Inu community seems to be particularly agog about the Ethereum ETF, which is a fascinating development. They're thinking back to when the Bitcoin ETF caused a similar explosion in the value of Shiba Inu and are asking if the Ethereum ETF will do the same. Now there's a thought-provoking question. And now things start to get intriguing. Many thought the Ethereum ETF would have an even greater and more immediate impact than Bitcoin did. Since major players like Grayscale aren't going to dump a ton of Ethereum the second the ETF trading begins, they reasoned that it wouldn't take months before things started to shift. Everything shifted, though, today. This became widely publicized today, even though it was already known. Also, Grayscale has a substantial amount of Ethereum on hand. Many are astonished and even enraged by this revelation, for the simple reason that they have come to understand that, similar to Bitcoin, Grayscale may release an influx of Ethereum into the market, so reducing the likelihood of sudden price spikes and, in the past, triggering collapses. Now that we have a better idea of what can happen next, let's analyze the situation thoroughly before drawing any conclusions. The value of Ether increased by about 1/3 in the days preceding the approval of the Ethereum ETF, although concerns regarding Grayscale's Ethereum trust began to loom big. Shortly after the actual acceptance, a key participant in the market, this trust oversees an enormous $11 billion worth of Ethereum. Things start to heat up now. Investors are concerned that a duplicate performance may occur after the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust experienced large withdrawals in the previous several months, mitigating the impact of large inflows. Within a month of spot Bitcoin ETFs receiving approval, Grayscale Bitcoin had massive outflows of $6.5 billion. It manages making about 23% of its total assets. According to a new analysis by Kaiko Research, Grayscale Ethereum might see daily average withdrawals of $110 million if past trends continue. We can see what the future holds for the cryptocurrency market according to this analysis, which elucidates the possible effects of Grayscale's engagement. We should expect substantial withdrawals from, according to Tony Mateos, co-founder of an Ethereum-focused platform, similar to what happened with the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. But he does mention one major distinction between the two. Grayscale owned 3.5% of Bitcoin at the time the spot Bitcoin ETFs were authorized, or almost $30 billion worth of Bitcoin. However, Grayscale's holdings of Ethereum amount to a meager $11 billion, or just 2.2% of the market cap. Mateo posits that the lesser market share of Grayscale Ethereum means the ETF could have a greater impact with fewer predicted outflows. Mateos, however, maintains an optimistic view of the future. He thinks Ethereum might experience a similar pattern to Bitcoin, where price falls followed ETF approval before prices began to rise again. Potentially driving prices higher in the long term is the steady flow of capital caused by the adoption of ETFs. Mateos also notes that Ethereum is less harmful to the environment than Bitcoin, which may sway eco-conscious investors to choose the Ethereum ETF instead of Bitcoin. Anterior crypto investors will recall that the energy consumption issue, the primary distinction between Ethereum and Bitcoin, has historically been the site of much controversy. Since Bitcoin uses so much power, even Tesla stopped accepting it as payment for their vehicles. As an alternative, Ethereum stands out thanks to its proof-of-stake approach, which is less harmful to the environment. Given this viewpoint, Ethereum ETFs may appeal to conventional investors who are seeking to match their assets with ESG criteria, such as social responsibility and environmental protection. Thus, for some, the long-term picture appears bright despite the fact that Grayscale may begin selling off its massive Ethereum holdings as trading begins. Plus, right now, Shiba Inu developers are getting ready for possible benefits. Shibarium, their Layer 2 scaling solution, has substantially decreased to 45 minutes, according to their recent announcement. Since Ethereum is the foundational blockchain for numerous projects and cryptocurrencies, including Shiba Inu, any enhancements to its architecture have far-reaching consequences. This is especially noteworthy since it tackles an issue plaguing Ethereum's ecosystem. Transactions are made more efficient and quicker by decreasing the time it takes to connect Ethereum and Shibarium. There has never been a more opportune moment for this upgrade, what with the imminent launch of the Ethereum ETF trading. Now,